to which includes everything you need to set up the jailbreak, all on the one disk. And all you have to do is burn the ISO to your Blu-ray disc. And you'll have it prepared. And basically it includes an auto-loader version from a Lucas Leal dev, which just modifies the exploit to automatically load the jailbreak when you load the disk, instead of having to press a button on the controller to trigger it. So that's been implemented in this version. It also has, of course, the main utility, homebrew applications included on the disk that can be installed directly, and also the cheats, patches, and plugins as well as payloads are all on the disk, meaning that you do not need internet connection to be able to install everything and get the jailbreak fully set up, all from the one disk. So I'm gonna show you how you can set it up here in this video. So as usual, if you're setting this up for the first time, you need to head into your notification section, and then just make sure you don't have a system software that's waiting to be installed. If you do, make sure you press the options button and delete that system update file, then go into your settings menu and scroll down to the system settings. And go to automatic download. And make sure you uncheck all of the boxes in here. And then you can go to your network settings. And also disconnect from the internet, as we should not be needing an internet connection, because we can install everything from the one disk. And it also stops updates. And then finally, if we go down to the system settings and system information, you need to make sure that your system software version is 12.52 or a lower number, anything higher. You will not be able to do this jailbreak. So then all you have to do is burn the ISO to the Blu-ray which you can do disc using a software called Image Burn. Or you can use the default burner within Windows. But I recommend Image Burn. It tends to be more reliable, gives you more options, so I'm gonna go ahead and open up Image Burn and select the option to write the image file to the disk. Then I'll take my all-in-one version of the hand loader and drag that ISO file into Image Burn. You can also click this button here to browse for it manually. If you cannot drag and drop it into Image Burn, then just insert your blank Blu-ray disc, either a BD-R or BD-Ray disc. I prefer verbatim discs because they tend to be higher quality, and I don't have any issues with them. But if you are having issues with different discs, you can adjust the write speed. Sometimes writing at a different speed can improve things. And then we can go ahead and simply click the image file to the disk, and then wait for that to write. It will take longer than the initial version, because there's a lot of additional stuff packed into this ISO, so you might have to wait a few minutes for it to write the image file to the disk, and then do the verification step. But once it's done, it should say the operation was completed successfully, and then you can eject that disk and insert it into the PS4. Which brings us over to this stage where we have the disk inserted. We've got the hand loader all in one. Unfortunately, when you load a Blu-ray disc for the first time, and you've never connected to the internet before, when loading a Blu-ray disc, it will require you to enable the internet connection. For Blu-ray playback, this is only required once, just to enable the features and activate the licenses. Once that's done, you can disconnect from the internet, and you'll still be able to load Blu-ray discs when offline. But you will have to enable the internet connection at least once to enable that feature to be able to launch the Blu-ray disc. And then once you've done that, you can disconnect from the internet again, and you will not have to reconnect. So that is the general idea. You may also get a message about enabling BD-Live. Just say yes to that message. And then also, you'll need to make sure that HDCP is enabled in the settings. If you go down to the system settings, you need to make sure that Enable HDCP is ticked. Otherwise, it will not let you launch the Blu-ray disc. So I'm gonna select it with X to start up the disc. And then you'll see that it will automatically start trying to run the jailbreak. As soon as it loads, so there it is. You can see it immediately starts running, and it's a success. And we have golden running version to point for B18.7. Obviously, if it fails and it says you have to reboot the PS4, then just reboot the console and load the disc again until it works. So it might take a few attempts. But once we're done, we can close the application. And once it's closed, if we head into the Gold 10 settings, you want to scroll down to the settings menu and enable the options for BD, App Auto Kill, which means the next time you load the disc to run the jailbreak, it will automatically close the disc player for you once Gold 10 is loaded, which makes it a lot quicker to get up and running with the jailbreak. So now that we have the jailbreak we can get everything else we need for the jailbreak set up and installed directly from the one disc. So if I go into the gold hand settings, you can see I don't have the game patch plugin or the audio fix plug, and we don't have any plugins installed. We don't have any cheats patches or anything else installed. But what we can do is head over to the debug settings and go to the package installer, and then all the package files that are on the disk should appear here. And you can just install all to get all of these utility-based homebrew applications installed onto the PS4. It will take a little bit longer to install than it normally would from a USB drive, because obviously the read and write speeds on the disk are slower. But these homebrew applications are pretty small, so it shouldn't take too long to install all of these. Okay, last homebrew application. Installing the homebrew store, which isn't going to be useful to you if you never connect to the internet. But anyway, that's all of the homebrew applications. So I can press the options button. Add to folder will add to a new folder. And then just call this folder homebrew. And then just keep all your homebrew applications organized in the one folder here. So we'll just select them all right here and confirm. And then we have all of our homebrew applications, which is fantastic. Now to install the cheats patches and plugins. We do need to do that manually by copying them off the disk. Now, unfortunately, at the time of recording, PS4 Explorer 2.0 does not yet have support for 12.52. I'm not sure about 12.50, so it will not work for me at the moment. If you're on firmware 12.0 or lower, you can use this application as your main file manager to be able to copy the necessary files off the disk. For the cheats patches, plugins, and payloads, however, because it's not supported yet on 12.52, at the time that I'm recording I have included this on the disk as well. This easy remote client, which does work up to 12.52 and has a file manager that can be used to copy the files. So I'm going to use this program in this particular case. I would use PS4 Explorer 2.0. So at this point, we just press down on the D-pad until we're highlighted over the file system, and then press X to select it to go into the file system. And then from here, we can scroll down to the MNT folder and press X on that. Then go to the disk folder, press X on that. So this is all the files on the disk. And then we can go into the extras folder. And then we want to press square on Cheats Manager and press square on payloads to highlight both of them. And then we can press triangle and select the option to copy those to folders. And then we can simply press X on the two dots to go up a directory. And then keep doing that until you get back to the root directory here. And then from here, we're going to go up to the data folder on the hard drive. And then we're simply just going to press triangle and then select the paste option. And that is going to paste into that location. We'll say ask for confirmation for overwriting. Always use this option and continue. And that's gonna copy those files over to the data folder. So you can see we now have a Cheats Manager folder copied and a payloads folder copied there as well. So once that's done, we can go ahead and simply close the application. And that's just got those things copied over. So the final thing we need to do is install patches and plugins, which we can do using the PS4 Cheats Manager. So we'll select this option here, okay. So once this application loads, we can go to the update section, and we want to go to update cheats patches and plugins from the HDD. Select that option there, and there we have our cheats, patches, and plugins that we copied to the HDD using that file manager. So we'll update the cheats from the HDD, and that will extract the zip file and gets all the cheats installed. And then we'll do the same for the patches successfully installed. Offline patch data, and then we'll also do the plugin. Successfully installed the plugin. And that is it. So if we head back here, we can see that if we go into the cheats section, loading game cheats. And as you can see, we have lots of cheats available. 2,890 games we have the cheats for. So the cheats have been successfully installed. The patches, we can see we also have all of the patches available as well. So that has successfully been installed. And as for the plugins, if we go ahead and close out of our PS4 Cheats Manager, head back to the Gold 10 settings, go to the plugin settings, you can see we can now enable the loader and the game patch plugin because we have the patches and plugins already installed. So that is how you get that all set up from the one disk. So you can use the PS4 Cheats Manager in the patches section to apply specific patches to your game, like 60 FPS patches lower the resolution, disable things like film grain and motion blur. So you can do all of that stuff. And then of course when you launch the game, it will apply those patches. And then also, you can hold down the share button once you're in the game to bring up the available cheats that were installed for that particular title. And you'll be able to toggle those cheats on and off by simply selecting them in that menu and then pressing circle to go back into the game. And you'll have those cheats enabled. So that is the general idea, an all-in-one ISO that contains everything you need to set up the jailbreak on the one disk. And if you're not able to burn your own, there will likely already be and versions of this available on places like AliExpress, where you can buy a disk that is already made for you. And you can just buy one of those cheap discs, and then you'll receive it in the mail, and you can pop it in your console, and you'll have this available. That is the general idea, so super easy to get things all set up there from the one disc, so that you have everything that you need without even needing an internet connection to be able to.